I am Ruben.
And this is the podcast.
Everything you're interested in.
Welcome.
Welcome to our ninth episode. So, what's the topic today, Shirley?
It's about books.
It's about books. Very nice. Are you interested in that? Stick with us till the end of the video and see what Shirley has to share with us. By the way, remember, click the like so that you do not forget. It helps a lot. Okay, my dear Shirley, there is a lot of things we could talk about books. So let's start by telling people what we are going to talk about books exactly. Shall we?
Yes, we shall. We are going to talk about the benefits of reading and show it's not that difficult to read a book. Also, we're going to talk about the new formats of books and the books we have read and we like the most and how it has impacted in our lives.
Very good. Let's start with the benefits of reading.
Good. Well, we're going to talk about some of the benefits here because there are a lot of. We could spend a whole episode just talking about the benefits of reading. But we can mention that reading strengthens the brain, right, Ruben? Our brain literally grows while we are reading, expands our connections and reinforce them. Also, it increases empathy. Yes. When we read a long-term fiction, for example, a novel, we, how can I say that? We can relate to the characters. We can feel what they're feeling. We can understand what they are doing and why. So it can make our ability to understand others' feelings and thinkings better. That's nice, isn't it, Ruben?
Absolutely.
The world needs more empathy, I believe. Well, another thing reading can do for us is to help us building our vocabulary. Yes. As much as we read, as bigger as our vocabulary becomes. And the size and quality of our vocabulary can influence many areas of our lives and give us more opportunities, including studying opportunities, job opportunities as well. Agree, Ruben?
I agree, and I'm listening to you very carefully.
And the best about vocabulary is that reading a book, we're going to be exposed a lot of new words and learn them in context. That is something I always say to my students. There is no point for you to take a list of words and try to just memorize them. You need to learn words in context so that you're going to be able to use them. Okay, going on. Reading prevents cognitive decline. Yes, when as we get older, our brain starts losing some. But it doesn't have to be this way. If you read and you keep yourself engaged, stimulating your brain activities, your brain is going to keep health. And there are some studies that shows reading, people who read are less likely to develop dementia, which is a really difficult situation. Another benefit, reading reduces stress. Who between us, who among us are not stressed nowadays, right? We have so much things to do, and we have to follow some standard situation. But if we take 30 minutes of our days to read every day, we are going to lower our blood pressure, our heart rate. Those are physical feelings you have when you're stressed, but when you lower them, you feel better. You feel more relaxed. And those are benefits you can also find in yoga and practicing humor. So reading is really good. Well, aids sleep. So reading helps you to sleep. If you have a bad routine with sleep, you're going to sleep better and easier, said the studies. And they also suggest you should read a printed book, because when we read on the screen, the light that comes from the screen may be not good for your health. Okay, so printed books for aid sleep. Well, and also another benefit of reading I want to share here is that it helps to alleviate depression. Yes, it's not a medicine, it's not the only option, but it can help. It can help because people with depression, they may feel isolated, stranded for everyone else around them. And when they start reading, when they are reading a book that really talks to them, those feelings can be lessened. They can feel well while they go to another world with a book, its story, its characters, and everything inside it. Isn't it beautiful, Ruben?
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I would like to add that generally in arts, I don't remember exactly what I'm trying to say, but it's true that the participation of children in creative arts it's very important, and also in about reading books because it helps them to widen the mind, to increase the strongness of the mind.
Yes.
So, is that all the things that you would like to mention, Swelly?
Yes, those are the ones I'm mentioning, but there are a lot of others.
So you highlighted great and important benefits of reading. That's my friend. And as you said, those are just some of them. And if we consider all of these benefits together, reading has the power to make you live longer and happier. Don't you agree? That said,
Totally.
let's some people things can make reading easy.
Yes, yes, of course. Well, first thing we need to have in mind is that reading is a habit and it can be developed as any other habit. It takes you the willing to do that and the discipline to keep doing, right? But reading doesn't have to be difficult, doesn't have to be sad, doesn't have to be a terrible moment of your day. Totally the other way around. It can be pleasant. It can help you with all of those things I mentioned above before. I mentioned before. Okay, so how do you do that? First thing, we adults especially, there are some books we are supposed to read. You know, some classics and other things that people have read and they think we should. Forget that. You should read whatever you want. Regardless the kind of book you read, if it is a book, a novel, if it is a comic book, if it is just a comic, it doesn't matter. All of kind of reading helps you. And they are reading, they are valid reading. You know, so if you don't want to read like a 100-page book, you go for a short story, you go for a chronic. All of them are good and they're going to be beneficial for you. Okay, so forget that thing, I am supposed to read this. No, read whatever you want to read. This is one thing. Another thing is we tend to feel guilty when we start reading a book and then we are not enjoying it and we have to leave it. We tend to not leave it. We keep reading and then we don't want to read, and then we read 2 sentences and we need to go back and read it again because we didn't understand. So if you're not feeling well reading a book, if you're not enjoying it, you don't have to keep it on it. Leave it. Maybe that's not the moment for you to read that book, and that's okay. If you're just starting, how are you going to be able to read a really high-level book? You know, we need to consider what we like and what we are able to do at that moment. Okay, so if you're reading a book and you're not enjoying it, leave it. As simple as that. Another thing that's important for you to keep on going with your new habit. Put reading time on your schedule. 30 minutes a day is not going to be a big change on your routine, but it's going to be a big change on your reading habit if you do that every day. So put it on your schedule and keep doing it. Okay? And what kind of books you're going to read? The ones you like, the ones that talk about things you like, things that are part of your life. So you read books about you read the books about things you can talk about them later with other people. You can mention the book you read. That is great. It's not just reading, it's reading and bring it to your life. Those are ways, Ruben, if you agree with me, those are my ideas on how to make reading easier. Okay, choose the topics you like, the type of book you like, and go for it. What do you say, Ruben?
So what about the new formats of books? What are they and what's your favorite?
Well, the new formats about book. Aside the old printed format we all know, nowadays we have ebooks or digital books you can read on screen. We also have audiobooks you can listen to. Okay, each of them has its pros and cons. And I think if you're starting, you should try and see which suits better for you. You try the printed one, the ebook, the audiobook. The one that suits best for you is the one you should be reading. And personally, I like printed books. I like to feel it, to feel the paper, to smell it, to touch it. It's important for me. What about you, Ruben?
Well, we are About it, I have the same feeling of smell the book while reading it. I have the same thing. Well, we are about to finish the episode, Sully, but we cannot finish before you tell us a little about your own experience as a reader and some of your favorite books.
Of course. I've been a reader since I was a child, and reading was always an important part of my life. I love reading novels, mystery, and adventure books, and it has helped me to overcome a lot of difficult moments in life. It has always helped me. I've cried and laughed with amazing characters and its stories. My favorite authors nowadays are Dan Brown, Dan Brown, also Nicholas Sparks, and of course I love Harry Potter, all of Harry Potter books, and all the books I've read from by J.K. Rowling was I liked all of them. I also like Game of Thrones, the books, not the series. And I have to say that Game of Thrones books are giant, a lot of pages for you to read. But the story is really interesting and you'll get caught. What else? Twilight. I like the movies and the books. I've read all of the books and watched all of the movies. I really like it. And I cannot not mention Monteiro Lobato. Monteiro Lobato is a Brazilian author, and he has wrote the most important collection I have ever read. Sítio do Pica-Pau Amarelo is the name of the series, and they are part of Brazilian culture, actually. Most of Brazilian people has read that books, and I don't know anyone who doesn't like it. They're really good. Yeah, I think that's all for now.
Well, thank you for sharing all this stuff, all this important information, Swelly. Is that for today?
Yes, that's it. And if you like our video, if you like this content we share with you today, please follow the channel, activate the notification so that you're not going to lose any of the videos we're going to post here. And leave your comments. Tell us, let us know what do you think about this video, about our content, and also if you want to leave us suggestions for new topics for a podcast. We are going to be glad to read all your comments and delighted to record a video on the topic you choose.
That's it, but before the end, I would like to mention that J.K. Rowling said, if you are worried about the books, it's because you have not yet found the correct book. So, if you like the video, subscribe to our channel, activate the notification, and enjoy your English journey. We will see you at the next episode of
Everything you're interested in. See you
Goodbye.
around.
Next episode.